Hello and welcome to the video. In this video we will be going over the ModernApps Ninja GitHub organization. So as you saw in the previous video, in the original PCast Ninja program was entirely based around GitHub, and as I discussed, that wasn't done for that was done for very intentional reasons, because I believe Git and GitHub are very important for IT and for many roles in IT as organizations make the transition towards modern application platforms. And it's also really probably the best platform out there for bringing together communities of people who are working on common projects. It's just a very powerful aspect of the program. And so wanted to review the ModernApps Ninja GitHub org. As you can see here, there's a number of different content on this, from large amounts of lab guides, as well as there's different repositories hosted here that are used for different things, like verification. Verify is used for when you get a course completion certificate. GitHub provides a really elegant method where you can provide a third-party validation that's open to anybody. It's programmatically accessible, that you have you can verify that your certificates were completed and valid through this repository. We have here a repository where we receive course feedback requests. So if you've taken a course and you click on a course feedback request, you may recognize that it actually brings you to this repository. Projects is a home for us where you can find information about most of the projects that we're working on. It's a great place for feature requests. If you think, hey, it'd be very cool if we did this new thing. We have a lot of the goals that I have. I've put down a lot of those here as projects, if they're near term and things we're going to hope to work on in the near future, or are actively working on. As well as projects also provides a home. We use GitHub projects here, not with the intent of trying to show the mechanics of how GitHub projects works in particular, but more as a way to, because GitHub projects are kind of a very standard very standard methods and standard tool sets that are just as much about teaching the common ways with agile project methodology. Say you have a project, your project has a Kanban board, and you create issue tickets to represent the different tasks that you need to do in your project. And as you go through your project tasks, you move them through sequences across the Kanban board. And for much of our audience, moving towards that style of project management is new. And so whether it's just for referencing for examples and seeing how we do those projects, whether it's hey, you see a new course that's being worked on and you're curious about how far along it is and where we're at and making it, to have that visibility out there. But the biggest part is for me is for many people, you want to start to use this type of project management, and it's really hard if you haven't done it before. And the community aspect of the program here is really intended to allow people to actually participate, actually start working on some of this style of projects, to really start to gain experience, because it's really difficult to go from I read about something in a book to I'm doing it in a production real world context. And so here we have active projects that we're actively working on, and we try to use real controls, and really this is a production context here. So it's really a way to go from just theory and classroom-based learning to actually getting some real experience before you have to go and work on things that are production assets at a place of employment where really there's not a lot of latitude there for errors or for learning. Whereas in this context, while we do, these are active things, these are production assets for us, it's really kind of this educational / production, because we try to keep everything very friendly to people who are new, and we hope that it's a very friendly and inviting community, and we try to make things where we're tolerant. People can make mistakes without derailing things, and really come here to learn how to take advantage of some new techniques and tool sets. And so feel free to browse this. Another important thing here is the Dojo. So for us, Dojo is just what we call our kind of home repositories, kind of the central repository. As you can see with the GitHub structure, when you come to an organization, there's not really a home page at the organizational level. And so Dojo for us, it's kind of riding on that ninja theme, where dojos are, of course, where ninjas train. And so if you want to get the kind of a central information here, you can come to the Dojo. Now the intent here is not, obviously I think it can be a little bit unclear if you just come to this page and start browsing if you're trying to find something specific. So the intent of all these repositories here is not for people necessarily. Well, you're welcome to. You can come and browse, and you may find very useful information here. And what you'll find is that when you need to interact with one of these repositories, it's not going to be, hey, you just come here and browse through this. It'll be, while you're taking courses, you'll find, hey, it's some specific section in a course. It may say, give you a link and say, click on this link, and you'll see a lab guide, maybe for NSXT configuration for PKS, or NSXT installation, where you're working on courses that go through the TKG installation process. And as you go through those courses, at some point it'll say, go do this exercise, and you'll be directed directly to a link. And on the back end, this is where it's found. And so you don't need to try to memorize how to navigate through this particular structure, as we produce more content on the ModernApps.Ninja learning platform, and as we host events and hackathons, you'll come to participate in a particular event, and you'll be directed to the appropriate repository based on what it is that you're working on at that time, or the exercise for the course you're working in. And so yeah, feel free to browse around here and to look at the structure. More than anything, this is really just to highlight, GitHub is really a big aspect. It's not evident as you get started on some of the courses, but as you go through more courses and as we build up more content, you'll see that you have a lot of opportunities to come and interact with the GitHub side of things, because learning Git, participating in Git, and even beyond our program, using those skills to go out and maybe participate more in open source projects, whether it's code or documentation or what have you, is also a goal for the community. So thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.